That is one big pile of shit. She's,
6 weeks.
tenacious.
You have no idea.
Right, settle in, kids. Grab your fortified hot chocolate and one of those suspicious brownies that your strange nephew gave you to try, because Uncle Grumpy's here, and I'm about to take you on a magical journey through the latest steaming pile of prehistoric shite that Hollywood shot out over this year. Jurassic World Rebirth. Though after watching this abortion of cinema, I'd have called it Jurassic World. Should have used a fucking condom. Where'd I even start with this disaster? It's like someone took the corpse of Michael Crichton's brilliant original concept, pissed on it, set it on fire, then decided to make a movie about the ashes. And somehow, some Hollywood executive twat looked at this flaming wreckage and thought, yep, that's worth 180 million of studio money. So here's a genius premise. Parkergenics, yet another evil pharmaceutical company, because apparently Hollywood writers have the collective imagination of a lobotomized hamster. They need dinosaur DNA to create heart medication. Not cancer cures, not AIDS vaccines, but fucking heart disease treatment. Because nothing screams, oh, blockbuster excitement like statins with teeth. It's like they sat in a boardroom and thought, what's the most boring medical condition we can base our action movie around? Congratulations, you absolute weapons. You managed to make dinosaurs boring. That's like making haggis sound appetizing to vegans. Shouldn't be possible, but here we fucking are. So, moving on to the charisma vacuum known as Scarlett Johansson. Our hero, Zora Bennett, played by the aforementioned Scarlett Johansson, brings about as much screen presence as a damp tea towel. Now, I've got nothing personally against ScarJo. She seems lovely in interviews and she has some obvious redeeming qualities. But watching her try to carry this movie is like watching a one-legged cat trying to bury a turd on a marble floor. 10 out of 10 for effort, but you're never going to get the job done. The woman who somehow made Black Widow watchable has managed to make giant fucking dinosaurs seem tedious. That's not just bad acting, that's a superpower. A shit superpower, mind you, like being able to make any conversation awkward, or having perfect recall of every embarrassing thing you've ever done. She's described as a covert operations expert, which in Hollywood terms mean woman who can run in heels while looking concerned. Her performance is all the emotional depth of a puddle in the Sahara and about as much personality as a Glasgow bus driver on a Monday morning. Mahershala Ali shows up as Duncan Kincaid. There's a good Scottish name for a black guy. And watching this two-time Oscar winner deliver exposition about characters we don't give a shit about is like watching Pavarotti sing nursery rhymes. The man's got more talent in his left bollock than most actors have in their entire bodies, and he's reduced to playing glorified sidekick to ScarJo. Jonathan Bailey plays paleontologist Dr. Henry Loomis, apparently cast because some executive saw him in Wicked and thought, you know what our dinosaur movie needs? A singing paleontologist. Bailey does his best with dialogue that sounds like it was written by the producer's nephew from that time his sister had a liaison with her first cousin and who spent way too many years in remedial English class. But even his considerable charm can't polish this particular turd. Then there's Rupert Friend as Martin Krebs, the pharmaceutical villain who's so cartoonishly evil he makes Snidely Whiplash look subtle. Friend camps it up like he's auditioning for panto season in Blackpool, complete with everything, butt cape and moustache to twirl. The man's chewing scenery like a fat bird at an all-you-can-eat buffet. But wait, there's fucking more, because no modern blockbuster is complete without a family in peril to make you give a shit about the proceedings. Enter the Hispanic Delgado family. Basically the emotional equivalent of human shields designed to make you care about their inevitable dinosaur-related mishaps. We've got Ruben Manuel Garcia Ruffle and his daughters, and they appear to be self-deporting from an ice raid by sailing across the Atlantic in a 40-foot yacht, like they're on a fucking pleasure cruise. Apparently the only people who can afford boats in this universe are either billionaire pharmaceutical twats or families with a collective death wish stronger than a lemming convention. Of course, this crew consists of an annoying kid and older daughter's boyfriend as well. Straight from a Cheech and Chong movie, this guy. At first I thought it was an ultra-modern family, as I thought the older daughter was Ruben's wife and her toy boy. And why does no one mention the mom who's strangely absent? Or did I just miss that during one of my many yawns? These poor bastards exist solely to get munched by sea monsters and then dragged down every scene they're in like emotional ballast. Watching them act is like watching a community theatre production of Hamlet performed by people who've never heard of Shakespeare and think Denmark is a type of pastry. The action takes place in Ile Saint-Hubert, yet another former Indian research facility, because apparently these clowns had more secret islands than Jeffrey Epstein.
What did you say, punk?
It's where they created transgenetic mutated dinosaurs, because regular dinosaurs weren't scary enough. They needed to be artisanal dinosaurs, like some hipster coffee shop bullshit, but with teeth. The island was abandoned after a 6-limbed tyrannosaur dubbed Distortus Rex escaped and fucked everything up. Yeah, you read that right. A 6-limbed T-Rex. Because when your franchise is more played out than a Rangers v Celtic debate, just add more fucking limbs. Next film will probably feature a dinosaur with opposable thumbs and built-in Wi-Fi. An intrepid team of walking dinosaur food needs to collect samples from 3 specific beasties. A Mosaurus, water, a Titansaurus, land, and a Quetzalcoatlus, air. It's like Pokemon, but with more screaming and less hope for humanity's future. They successfully get the first sample from the Mosasaurus, but not before it attacks their ship like an aquatic psychopath having the world's wettest tantrum. Because one massive sea monster wasn't enough, they needed backup dancers for the underwater murder ballet. The Quetzalcoatlus extraction goes tits up when the adult shows up and eats Leclerc alive, like it's a particularly crunchy appetizer. Poor Monsieur Sylvain, his character's death serves no purpose, other than to remind us that, yes, dinosaurs are still dangerous. Groundbreaking storytelling there, lads. But the real star of this chromosomal car crash is the Mutodon, described as raptor and pterosaur hybrids, because apparently the filmmakers looked at velociraptors and thought, you know what these murder chickens need? The ability to fucking fly. It's like giving a serial killer a jetpack. Technically impressive, but missing the fucking point entirely. And then there's the main antagonist, the Distortus Rex. A creature that looks like what would happen if a T-Rex, an alien xenomorph and a Rancor had a 3-way in a genetics lab and nobody used protection. The design team clearly ran out of ideas and just started throwing spare parts at it like a discount Dr. Frankenstein having a clearance sale. It's got gorilla-like arms and movements and a bulbous head that make it look like it's suffering from the world's worst case of prehistoric mumps. The visual effects supervisor said, "It's as if another animal has been wrapped around a T-Rex. Mate, that's not a dinosaur. That's a fucking kebab." The film's action sequences follow the standard Jurassic playbook, with the creativity of a particularly unimaginative photocopier. People run. Dinosaurs chase. Someone inevitably trips, because apparently nobody in these films has ever heard of wearing sensible shoes. Someone else makes a heroic sacrifice, and that would make a Mills and Boon novel blush. There's a convenience store sequence that's supposedly a reference to the original's kitchen scene, but it's about as subtle as a brick through a pensioner's window. It's like watching someone try to recreate the Sistine Chapel with finger paints and the artistic vision of a colourblind toddler having a seizure. The river chase gets mentioned as impressive, and I'll give credit where it's due. Gareth Edwards knows how to point a camera at things. But when your movie's highlight is people in a boat being chased by angry prehistoric lizards that aren't actually fucking there, you're not actually breaking new cinematic ground. I've seen this shite before multiple times, and it was better when Spielberg did it, back when Bill Clinton was still getting blowjobs in the Oval Office.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The climax involves our heroes trying to escape through underground tunnels like they're in some sort of prehistoric subway system, or even the fucking Crystal Maze. It's designed by someone who failed both engineering and common sense, because apparently, despite all the advanced technology and military-grade equipment, the solution, as always, is find a fucking boat. Every Jurassic film ends like it was written by the same travel agent who was horribly scarred in the Predator movie and will now only recommend boats.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
But the real kick in the balls is how the mutadon creature clearly lifts more ideals from alien Romulus than a student copying homework 5 minutes before class. When your franchises run out of ideals, why not steal them from other franchises that have also run out of ideals? It's creative bankruptcy feeding on creative bankruptcy. A fucking Ouroboros of mediocrity eating its own arse. Credit where credit's due, the film does look expensive. Like 180 million screensaver, designed by someone with exquisite taste in meaningless visual spectacle. Industrial Light and Magic return to handle the CGI, and they've created dinosaurs that are technically more impressive than most politicians' lunches, and that's saying something. The problem is, we've seen impressive dinosaurs before, we've seen them done better, and with more personality. And films that actually had stories worth telling, rather than corporate mandated content designed to solely extract money from your wallet like a particularly efficient pickpocket. The limited pre-production period meant they couldn't use many animatronics, relying heavily on CGI like a crutch-dependent alcoholic. It's like hiring Gordon Ramsay to make you cheese on toast. It might sound fancy when he presents Welsh rarebit, but ultimately it's still cheese melted onto slightly burnt bread. The critical reception had been about as mixed as the contents of a Glasgow bin after Hogmanay, and that includes the stench of vomit. Rotten Tomatoes gives us a 53% critic score and a 73% audience score. That tells you everything you need to know about the sorry state of modern cinema expectations. Critics can smell the recycled bullshit from orbit, while audiences are apparently just happy to see dinosaurs munch on people again. Like the difference between a sommelier tasting wine and a drunk student chugging cooking sherry. Technically, both are consuming alcohol, but the standards are somewhat fucking different. Despite being about as fresh as 2,000-year-old Irish bog butter, trust me, it is a thing. The film has made $312 million globally, proving that people will pay to see literally anything with dinosaurs in it. It's the second largest worldwide opener of 2025, which tells you more about humanity's collective taste than any anthropological study ever could. The film's got production costs of $180 million, and with marketing costs it'll need to make close to $500 million just to break even. But given the Jurassic brand's track record, it'll probably stumble its way to profitability like a drunk dinosaur trying to find its way home after a particularly heavy night out. Jurassic World Afterbirth is exactly what happens when a franchise becomes more deceased than the actual dinosaurs it's supposed to be about. It's formulaic, uninspired, corporate-mandated piece of cinematic excrement that exists solely to justify its own miserable existence and extract cash from people who should know better by now. Scarlett Johansson proves that star power alone can't save a sinking ship, especially when that ship is made of recycled plastic bottles and powered by nothing but nostalgia and corporate greed. Mahershala Ali and Jonathan Bailey deserve better. Hell, they deserve hazard pay for having to deliver dialogue to make a chatbot cringe. The film's greatest achievement is making you appreciate how absolutely fucking brilliant the original Jurassic Park was by comparison. They're getting ripped off by that taxi driver in Bradford, where despite the language barrier, you communicated the need to get the fuck out of Europe's most dangerous city. Trust me, that's a thing as well. And being grateful he didn't actually kill you. Jurassic World Stillborn gets 3 out of 10 stars, and I'm being more generous than a Scottish grandmother at Christmas. It's technically competent in the way that a particularly efficient prostate exam is. It does what it's supposed to do, but nobody's fucking happy about it. It's a film that exists because some corporate overlord looked at a spreadsheet and thought, you know what, we need more dinosaur money. It's a cinematic equivalent of a cash grab so shameless it would make a politician blush. Michael Crichton must be spinning in his grave so fast you could power half of Scotland with the kinetic energy. The man who created this universe would probably take one look at what it's become and ask for a refund on his entire fucking legacy. Save your money, you leeches on society. You want to see dinosaurs? Go to a museum where they at least have the decency to stay properly extinct. You want to see good acting? Literally watch anything else. Even the shipping forecast has more emotional range than this parade of wasted talent. Jurassic World Rebirth, proving that some things really should stay buried, preferably under several metric tons of concrete and a strongly worded warning sign. Remember, life finds a way. Unfortunately, so does Hollywood's relentless pursuit of your hard-earned cash through increasingly lazy filmmaking. I'm great.
A Grumpy Scot with a pint in hand, ripping through films like a one-man band. Snarky cinema where the burns are hot, honest reviews you'll never forgot. Oh hey, oh hey, let the truth be told. No sugar here, it's biting and bold. With smirk and a scowl and a hearty laugh, the Grumpy Scot is here to riff your craft. Remakes to sequels gone wrong, he'll tear them apart all video long. But if it's a gem, he'll tip his hat. Rare moments when praise comes from this cat. From cringe remakes to sequels gone wrong, he'll tear them apart all video long. But if it's a gem, he'll tip his hat. Rare moments when praise comes from this cat. Snark so sharp it'll cut through steel. Honesty that you can taste and feel. No fluff, no fuss, it's the Scottish creed. For brutal truth, the world does plead. Oh hey, oh hey, let the truth be told. No sugar here, it's biting and bold. With a smirk and a scowl and a hearty laugh, the Grumpy Scot is here to riff your craft. So grab your popcorn and duck for cover. It's cinema chats with a twist to discover. Snarky Scot with reviews that sting, a brutally honest movie rating king.